tonight on News 11.
Hi, this is a photography class at Kennedy High School.
Good morning, Open Country!
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest growing television news, News 11 Sunrise, with John Bachman, Amy Powell, Steve Carroll on sports, and meteorologist Sally Patrick.
Good morning. It's Friday, May 8th, end of the week.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yes, just in case you hadn't noticed.
I don't keep track of things like that, do you?
I do, because I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a warm one.
It's going to be a warm, beautiful weekend, I guess, for outdoor activities. 48 degrees already. Sally Patrick with us. Good morning, Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Good morning. It will be a warm weekend, but the big news is we finally have a slim chance for rain. We'll be talking about that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, more details later. Topping Sunrise, though, a 2-alarm fire overnight in South Minneapolis injures a firefighter.
The fire started shortly before midnight. And as News 11's Carolyn Marinan tells us, while it was a small fire, it was a stubborn one.
Crews had the 2-alarm fire at 1496 5th Street South under control quickly. The small house owned by the city of Minneapolis was vacant.
The fire was in the ceiling of that area, and we were concerned that it was going to spread to the adjacent building, which is about 3 times the size of this one.
Firefighters hacked away at smoldering walls and hosed the building down. That kept the fire from spreading. There weren't a lot of flames here, but there was a lot of work to be done, tearing down drywall and plaster, so more firefighters had to be called in. Captain James Mills was treated in an ambulance. The firefighter cut his hand on glass. He was taken to Hennepin County Medical Center, treated and released. Arson investigators say dry grass and paper near the back of the building may have fueled the fire. They also say the fire does not look suspicious. For Sunrise, Carolyn Marinan, News 11, South Minneapolis.
Fire officials say the house was boarded up and had been vacant for quite some time.
A shooting leaves a Columbia Heights man dead this morning. Police investigated the area around the house at 4537 Taylor Street following the incident. 25-year-old Donald White was shot on the chest point blank just before 10 last night. He died in the emergency room. Police believe the shooting stemmed from an argument over a motorcycle. Police are investigating the shooting and have a suspect in custody. Manhunt is underway this morning in Sandstone following the escape of an inmate from a minimum security prison there. Officials say that Franco Martinez apparently cut a hole in a fence and escaped Sandstone prison around 9 last night. Police say that he is dangerous. They don't know the exact direction he's taken. He is described as Hispanic, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 160 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was seen driving a maroon Chrysler with a white top. Anyone with any information, please call the Sandstone Police.
The trial of a Bloomington woman gets underway this morning as jury selection begins. 51-year-old Ruth Longstreet is accused of attempted murder. She allegedly had a delivery service send a radio-activated bomb disguised as a Christmas present to a Minneapolis woman. No one was hurt in the explosion. Jury selection begins this morning in Hennepin County Court. Convicted murderer Stephen Hansen will be sentenced today for killing an Eau Claire, Wisconsin man. The body of Dale Staup was found on the bedroom floor of his Eau Claire apartment last November. Homosexual materials were also found inside the apartment. Hansen pled guilty to the crime last month. And in Ramsey County Court, Jeff Gursky will be sentenced for killing his wife. Gursky was found guilty of second-degree murder in March. It was in November of 1985 that Gursky stabbed his wife Carla and set their Shoreview mobile home on fire to cover up the crime. He will be sentenced this morning.
The Minnesota Supreme Court released a ruling overnight in a malpractice suit involving a police officer. Mary Stuckey has that and other decisions from the High Court.
Today's Supreme Court decisions involve a malpractice case, insurance law, and the discipline of an attorney. The first case involves a New Ulm policeman who says he suffered a stroke as a result of chiropractic treatment. The court ruled the policeman could not obtain a deposition from the chiropractor before suing him for malpractice. In another case, the Supreme Court ruled that injuries sustained in an attack while an insured was voluntarily drunk are excluded from coverage under a homeowner's policy. Also today, the court ignored advice to disbar attorney Louis Bernstein and suspended him for 4 years. And that's all from the Minnesota Supreme Court for Friday, May 8th. For Sunrise, Mary Stuckey, News 11.
The Supreme Court rulings will be filed today.
A report citing the troubled bridges in Minnesota is expected to be released today. Since April, state transportation officials have been conducting a safety inspection of 19,000 bridges. 9 structures have already been labeled unsafe and will be closed down, and at least 35 other bridges fit the category. The money needed to repair or rebuild the unsafe structures will also be released in the report. Big Mouth's condition continues to deteriorate this morning. The beluga is being watched closely by SeaWorld experts. He has developed a respiratory infection. Doctors continue to treat the whale with antibiotics. Doctors say the ailment could have been caused by the whale's trip to California. The outlook for Big Mouth, the former Minnesota Zoo attraction, is not good.
The Minnesota Zoo will open a new exhibit tomorrow in hopes of boosting business, what with the closing of the beluga display. Golden monkeys from China are the latest attraction. The animals are rare. There are only 55 in captivity in the world. The couple will be on display until July, so you have some time to get out there.
It should help take people's mind off Big Mouth a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're pretty, their hair, the color of their hair.
Really pretty.
Think I could get my hair that color?
Oh, no, I don't know, maybe.
Can you tell it's Friday?
Yes.
Don't touch your hair, it's just fun.
Thank you. How nice.
Isn't
You're in a
that-
good
see?
mood. It's
I'm-
Friday.
Yes, he's being very nice.
I always get complaints about how mean I am.
No, not today. We will have a warm day, as you were saying earlier. Heat wave coming for the weekend with a slight chance of thunder showers, and we hope to get some. We need the rain.
Not going to ruin outdoor activities.
I don't think so. I think they'll be isolated. We have 48 degrees right now. Clear skies, winds from the southeast, and they are light this morning at 3 miles an hour. The dew point is 38, relative humidity 68%, and the pressure is steady at 30.14 inches. Let's take a look at the satellite picture, and you'll notice how dry it is. Just a few clouds to the north. This is what we'll have today. Lots of sunshine. It will be very warm today as well as through the weekend. Now coming up later on tonight and also early Saturday, there will be a cold front coming in from the northwest. We are hoping to get a little bit of thunderstorm activity out of this. However, the atmosphere is so dry it's going to be tough to produce any rain. See what we can do. Here's the forecast as it stands right now. Sunshine for today, high of 80 degrees. It will be a warm one. Winds from the southwest up to 25 miles an hour today. Tonight also very mild. 55 will be it for an overnight low. Late tonight we have a chance at some isolated thunderstorms. We can't guarantee anything here. We can only keep our fingers crossed that we get just a little bit of rain activity, and the same would go for Saturday.
There have been many days in Mays in the past in Minnesota where 55 would be a high.
That's right.
Not a low. Okay. Thanks, Shelley.
From new films to a new director who's a familiar actress, there will be plenty to see this weekend for entertainment. Barry Zavan has the details.
Gardens of Stone tells the story of the men who served in the Vietnam War at Arlington National Cemetery and Fort Myer, Virginia. It's a different kind of war story with soldiers who were different too.
The shoes have little steel plates on the insoles.
Yes, that's right. That's so every time you bring your feet together, it makes a nice loud crack. Welcome to show business, soldier.
And welcome to a hilarious spoof of all the Carrie-type movies in Nice Girls Don't Explode. It's about an overprotective mother and her attempts to limit her daughter's adolescent fun.
Mom, I have nothing to wear.
That's a lovely outfit, April.
Mom!
For Mom's Day this Sunday, special treats on film would include Project X, Raising Arizona, The Secret of My Success, and Waiting for the Moon. Films that should be sent to the moon include The All-Nighter and Extreme Prejudice. Extremely exciting concerts include Dennis Russell Davies conducting Petrushka with the Minnesota Orchestra at Orchestra Hall tonight and tomorrow. Chet Atkins picks the world's best guitar sounds at the Ordway tonight at 8. And Swedish-American film actress Vivica Lindfors will be at the Walker Arts Center tonight at 8. She'll be there to discuss the film Unfinished Business, which she directed and which will be shown there this evening. That's really showbiz this weekend. For Sunrise, Barry Zivan, News 11.
Boy,
What are you going to do this weekend?
Well, I'm going to get outside in the sun, maybe a little bicycle riding.
That's the trouble. It's tough to go inside, but in the evenings.
Yeah.
And a lot of things going on, too.
That's right.
Next up on Sunrise, if you're still looking for a Mother's Day gift, we'll show you some possibilities.
And if you listen to K63 Radio, you'll have a chance to see the people behind the voices when we return.
You're going to flip over the upside-down sale prices at Village Chevrolet and Wayzata Mitsubishi. We're turning prices upside down on over 1,000 new and used cars and trucks, like this new Chevy C10 full-size pickup for just $89.95, or this 87 Mitsubishi Mighty Max, just $147 a month, includes tax and license, and at 1 penny down. Choose from our huge 14-acre super selection, all priced to turn over fast. Upside-down sale prices clearly marked on windshields. If you don't buy your new car or truck from Village Chevrolet or Wayzata Mitsubishi, you're blowing the best deal in town.
Shop Menards and register free to win this Lund fishing boat package from Menards and Dutch Boy. And if you'd rather be fishing than painting, choose Dutch Boy's Super Latex House Paint, guaranteed for 15 years. Now just $13.88 a gallon. Or Dutch Boy's Dirt Fighter Latex House Paint with 10-year warranty, on sale now for just $10.88. Spruce up and save with Dutch Boy paints from Menards.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
Ugh. Why can't I ever take decent pictures? Where did I go wrong?
Maybe to the wrong photo finisher. Look, if they gave you bum photos, ProX will fix them. Free. Bring us your most disappointing pictures, plus their negatives, and we'll reprint a few, just to show you how much better ProX makes them look.
See? I can take decent pictures.
ProX. You won't be disappointed.
Maybe I should turn pro.
48 degrees, 11 minutes now past the hour. The Ford Motor Company has introduced its first entrant in the mini car field. The company has debuted its new Festiva in 6 western states. Now, the car is made in Korea from Japanese parts and should sell for around $5,800. The Festiva should appear nationwide this fall. It's expected to compete with a combination German-Korean car from General Motors, the Pontiac Le Mans.
Job hunters and economists have a special reason to listen for an announcement from Washington this morning.
Kara King is here now to tell us what that is. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Hi, Amy. In a little more than an hour, the federal government will release its unemployment figures for March. The official report on the nation's unemployment will come out at 7:30. So far this year, the unemployment rate has reached 6.7%. Some of the nation's top business leaders have predicted that the jobless rate will drop slightly this year. In our business outlook this morning, New York business investor Ben Labau says he will buy and merge the telex divisions of Western Union and ITT. He's reportedly paying $170 million for the ITT purchase. Wix Corporation officials say they'll fight a lawsuit filed against a carpet-making subsidiary. The Collins and Aikman Company has been sued for $20 million. The complaint claims some carpet doesn't meet fire standards. Mother's Day means big business for florists, restaurants, and candy manufacturers. In St. Paul, Jeanette Harrison talked with one candy manufacturer where holiday treats are still made the old-fashioned way, by hand.
Mike Elliott and his family run Regina's Candy. The store first opened way back in 1926 and is named after Mike's grandmother, Regina Elliott. And whether the candy is Regina's traditional chocolate ting-a-ling or a Mother's Day special, it's always made by hand.
We make the candy by hand because we feel that if you make it in the smaller batches and use the good ingredients, you know, the fresh and frozen fruits and the top quality nut meats, that you get a better tasting product. And for us, it's worked out over the years because we've won a lot of awards within our industry and the customers keep coming back for more.
For Mother's Day this year, Regina's is making special chocolate roses and moms. But the expected big sellers are still the traditional boxed assortments as gifts for mothers and grandmothers.
We still have our substantial following that come in every Mother's Day for it's a perfect gift for their mom, and you know what? Over all the years I've been in this business, I've never seen one box returned.
While Regina's has stuck to making candy by hand for 62 years, the company is changing. Some of these sweets are now available as locale treats for weight-conscious moms. Jeanette Harrison, News 11, St. Paul.
Mother's Day is the 4th biggest sales day for holiday candy. But watch out, moms. Candy salespeople say Father's Day is steadily gaining in the holiday bonbon race. The Dow fell more than 7 points on Wall Street in the last session. The 30 industrials dropped more than 7 points to 2334.66, volume 215 million shares. And in London this morning, gold opened at $456.50 an ounce. That's down $1.50 from yesterday's close. And we have another anniversary. This makes 3 this week. In 1886 on this day, Coca-Cola, the syrup for the beverage Coca-Cola, was invented by an Atlanta pharmacist.
Been through a lot of changes over the years,
It
too.
has.
Are you gonna drink it then, or?
I sure am, as soon as I get off here.
You could put it in the coffee and really.
Ooh, John, that's terrible.
That I did.
Thanks, Kara. The Emmy Award-winning series St. Elsewhere will be back for another season. NBC has announced it will keep the dramatic medical series around for another season. St. Elsewhere is set in the fictional St. Eligius Hospital in Boston and appears Wednesdays here on Channel 11. NBC plans to announce the rest of its fall schedule next week.
On the radio this morning, a sound that is solid gold.
K63 has taken over the oldies slot on the dial. Melissa Young is standing by in their Oakbury studios. Melissa, good morning.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, John. Indeed, KDWB AM is just about the only place you can find oldies on the dial right now. Ron Richards and Linda Evans, don't you guys work? Look at them sitting there like that. Well,
by the way, to the Twin Cities Oldies channel, K63.
Well, thank you. And indeed, these two keep their listeners rocking and rolling to the classics every morning.
K63, the Twin Cities Oldies channel, Beatles on the radio, and a winner on the telephone.
K63 is KDWB AM. A switch from top 40s to oldies a year ago has brought the station new life.
Speaking of babies, it's you.
Yeah.
There's a new survey just done. Researchers at the University of Texas in Austin.
Ron Richards handles the morning oldies. He's been with the station for 10 years and says the switch to oldies has made his job a lot more fun.
She's got a perfect face for radio. From the newsroom, it's Linda Evans.
A Minnesota House Committee nixed a 65-mile-an-hour speed limit bill yesterday. But
Linda Evans adds the informational touch. Together, they give lovers of the old rock and roll a place to tune to. You know, it's always strange for radio people to see themselves on the air, but I have to ask you, we've heard this rumor that you folks really do live in the 50s and the 60s back here. Is it true?
Absolutely, and this is the way we start the day every day at K60.
Now wait, you're not going to believe this. We do. Hula hoops.
Since you're here, you have to be involved in this thing, so get your hula hoop on.
Okay.
Get ready. Linda's the best at this. So
She's the best. Well, I'm going to put my microphone down for this. Hold on. Okay. No, we have to do it all at the same time here. Okay.
Which is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Give me room. Back off here. Wait a minute. Back off. Get out here.
Okay. Well, that's the way they start their mornings here at K63. That's right. So be sure and tune in.
Make you an official oldies listener.
Sure.
It's a Louie Louie album. 1, 2, doo-wop, doo-wop. You're an oldie till you drop. Okay?
Oh, I'm feeling a little old at this point.
Yeah, we all are.
Yes.
Thank you, Melissa.
I think they need a little more practice there.
Melissa especially. Whoa, you know, that would get you going in the morning, though.
It certainly would.
Maybe
You want to
should-
try it?
Well, Monday morning, maybe we should try that.
No.
No.
Still to come this morning on Sunrise, it looks like today will be the last campaign day for Gary Hart.
Congress is looking at changes for farm credit.
We'll show you how some kids find summer jobs.
And Steve Carroll will tell you what happened in last night's NHL playoff game. Sunrise Sports up next.
I'd like to show you one of my favorite restaurants in all America. It's Kozlak's Royal Oak in suburban Shoreview. Now, whether it's the subtle combination of the beauty and grandeur of the dining room or the friendly, comfortable feeling of the Royal Oak patio garden, throughout Kozlak's Royal Oak restaurant, there's just one kind of food and one kind of service, and it's the very, very best. See for yourself over lunch, dinner, or the outstanding New Orleans Sunday brunch at Kozlak's Royal Oak restaurant.
The most incredible car sale you've ever seen. You've got to get down here now.
Did you ever notice that the people who make the most noise often have the least to say?
Here at White Bear Mitsubishi, we don't make a lot of noise. We do sell great performing cars. Like the sensational Galant, the elegant high-tech four-door luxury sedan. That's why we're known as the pace setters, because at White Bear Mitsubishi, we're perfecting the car shopping experience.
And with all that going for you, who needs a lot of noise?
Snyder's birthday sale proves there's a lot more to the Old Corner Drugstore today.
Forever Crystal gift set containing Odie toilet spray with free perfume spray at $29 value, just $15. Save on our full line of Almay products, now 25% off. Choose from our large assortment. The 2-pack of Kodak 200-speed VRGC 135 24 exposure film. After rebate, just $4.99.
Snyder's, the Old Corner Drugstore for today.
48 degrees this morning, and it's now 19 minutes past the hour of 6.
And Steve Carroll's here now. And for those of us who don't follow hockey closely, are we nearing the end of the season?
Well, it's 8th of May. It's possible that it could go into the first week of June.
Is that right?
No. Yes. Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible,
Okay.
but certainly exciting. It is a travel day for the Detroit Red Wings and Edmonton Oilers. The two teams motor back to Motown today to continue their Campbell Conference Series. The Oilers have rallied to tie the series up at a game apiece by winning the game, or Game 2, a late one out west, the final 4-1. Game 3 tomorrow night in Detroit. Edmonton took control of this game early. Watch the great pass by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, over to Yari Curry, 1-0 Oilers. Lots of duking in this contest. I guess these teams just don't like each other at all. Third period now, time was running out, 1:22 on the clock when Mark Messier outskates the Detroit players and scores 3-1 Oilers. Here's the play of the game, though. In the third period, Edmonton's Asa Tinkinen, he'll check a Detroit player over the boards, Gilles Delorme, then pushes him into the Oiler bench. Boom! Check this out. The Edmonton players hold Delorme on the bench, preventing him from getting back onto the ice. Edmonton pulls a fast one and wins Game 2, 4-1. Tonight, the Wales Conference Series resumes as the Flyers journey to Montreal for Game 3 of that series. The best-of-7 series is deadlocked at the game-apiece face-off is set for 6:30. On to the NBA playoffs now. The LA Lakers have done it again, cruising past Golden State to take a 2-0 lead in their Western Conference semifinal series. The final from the West Coast, the Lakers winning it 116-101. Game 3 tomorrow afternoon at Golden State. And in case you're scoring at home, Golden State plays in Oakland. Now, I've always wondered where they did play their games. Let's pick up the action in the third quarter. Golden State works the ball around over to Larry Smith. He puts it in to tie it up at 60 all. Then the Magic Man goes to work. Magic Johnson drives it home for the bucket, 2 of his 23 on the night. The Lakers were led once again by the big guy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He poured in 25 points as the Lakers go on to bomb Golden State 116-101. In the other NBA playoff game last night, Houston popped Seattle's bubble, beating the Supersonics 102-84. Seattle still leads that series 2-1 with Game 4 set for tomorrow. All right, let's move on down the coast and on to baseball, where the Giants were having a field day with the Cubs. San Fran winning this one big time, 11-1 from Candlestick Park. The win moves the Giants into a first-place tie with the Reds, while the Cubs fall a half game back of the Cards in the East. Boy, is it ever windy at Candlestick. Look at the Cubby hat go deep off the wall. Then the San Francisco player anchored at second so he wouldn't blow away. Ex-twin Rob Wilfong belted a 2-run homer to right. Wilfong's first National League homer and only his second at-bat for the Giants. Later, a couple of Wilfong's teammates take a turn with a long ball. Jeff Leonard drilled one to straightaway center to make it 8-1. And then the Candyman, Candy Maldonado, sent one over the left field fence and into the fan section where they scrambled for the ball. The Giants cruised to an easy 11-1 win over the Cubs. Just 2 other games in the National League. St. Louis bombed San Diego 17-10. That's the most runs the Cards have scored in 10 years. And Los Angeles beat Pittsburgh thanks in part to ex-twin Mickey Hatcher. The Hatchman drilled a homer and drove in a pair of runs to help lead the way for the Dodgers. Twins are out east tonight to open a weekend series with the Yankees. The Twinnos knocked off Baltimore yesterday afternoon at the Dome. 5-2 the final. That was the only game played in the American League on Thursday.
Good for
Boy,
the Twins.
looked cold in Candlestick Park, didn't it?
Always looks cold there.
It does.
Yeah.
Bleachers empty. Today is Friday. It's May 8th, and on this day in 1945, celebrations were held across our nation.
President Truman announced the end of the war in Europe. While crowds cheered in cities and small towns, the president spoke to the nation on radio.
This is a solemn but glorious hour. I only wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
Also on this day in 1926, a famous and cold race ended with an American victory. Commander Richard Byrd and his pilot Floyd Bennett became the first people to fly over the North Pole. The two beat a Norwegian team led by Roald Amundsen. They returned to a hero's welcome.
And happy birthday if today is your day. You share it with a few famous people. Comedian Don Rickles is 61 today. Toni Tennille, the singer, 44. Actress Melissa Gilbert is growing up. She's 23 now.
And your horoscope for today says you'll be attracted to an older person. Spend money only on the finest.
Coming up, the tough task of finding summer work.
And a look at the man behind many famous American myths. Stay with us.
Oh, these are cute. Mean Gene for Thane Hawkins Freeway Dodge in Bloomington, the Twin Cities headquarters for custom vans. Hey, look at this. 50 van conversions from 5 manufacturers on sale at discounts to $5,000, 3 days only. You have to admit, this is an incredible offer. 50 van conversions with discounts to $5,000 for 3 days only. Low prices, huge inventory, low financing. Where? Only at Thane Hawkins Freeway Dodge, 80th and Penn in Bloomington, where financing is as easy as the stump of approval.
Hi, my name is Jerry Burkhardt, and I own the Waterbed Warehouses. Remember, at Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. Here's another good example. Complete waterbeds from $99. Bookcases starting at $149. And our deluxe bookcase is just $179. Remember, Waterbed Warehouses. We've been here, and we're going to be here. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from us, you'll probably just get...
Come and see Good Value Homes. We believe in keeping prices low.
When you're ready for something special, come and see. Updated kitchens, luxury bathrooms, family rooms to stretch out in. For the extra details you want, the quality you expect, at the price you can't afford, turn to the people you know you can trust. Good Value Homes.
See Good Value Homes.
Check your weekend papers for details. Good Value Homes.
The world's #1 selling car is now the Twin Cities #1 value at Bob Carter Ford. Only $63.95 for the front-wheel drive Escort. That's right, $63.95. Or better yet, put just $139 down at Bob Carter's, and the Escort is yours for only $139 a month. $139 down, $139 a month. Discover the Twin Cities #1 value today at Bob Carter Ford. Now more convenient than ever, just off 494 on South Robert, Inver Grove Heights.
Sunrise time is 6:26.
Chance of rain being talked
That's
about.
right.
We're going to get up to those pretty high temperatures, possibly in the 80s.
Think so?
Does that help create the possibility of some of those
It
thunderstorms?
really does. At this time of year, when you have that much heat, anything that stirs up the atmosphere gives us a little chance of a thunderstorm. Our problem is the atmosphere has been very dry, and you need moisture with thunderstorms.
See, that was a good question.
It was a good question.
It wasn't a bad question.
Very good one.
Did you understand the answer?
Yes. That's even more amazing.
We do have just a slight risk of rain, and we'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, let's take a look and see what's going on right now as you head outdoors. Clear skies, 48 degrees. Winds from the southeast, and they are light this morning at 3 miles an hour. The dew point is 38, relative humidity 68%, and the pressure is steady at 30.14 inches. On the satellite picture, lots of dry air throughout the Central Plains. You can see hardly a cloud in the sky. Just a few ragged clouds to our north. Scattered cloudiness throughout the west, where a heat wave has been going on. In fact, 31 record highs yesterday, scattered from California all the way up to Idaho. Sacramento, California, 100 degrees. It's the 3rd consecutive day they've hit that. That was yesterday. Today will probably be the 4th consecutive day. Heat wave going on there, and it will spread a little bit eastward into our neck of the woods today. Scattered clouds and showers and thunderstorms right along the Gulf Coast. Also the eastern seaboard, Pennsylvania, New York City getting rain showers this morning, but that will be clearing out later on today if you're traveling there. All dry here. We only have a slight risk of rain, and I'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, the current temperature is 33 degrees in Duluth, Minnesota. A little bit of scattered frost in the northeastern section of the state, but that hasn't been a widespread problem. Okay, for today, we do have a cold front coming at us. Northern Minnesota should begin to develop some pretty hefty thunderstorms later on this afternoon. That will spread southward later on tonight, but I think these thunderstorms will be very widely scattered. We're hoping to get some late tonight. The chance will continue, I think, on Saturday for some isolated or hit or miss type of thunderstorms, and then we'll clear out by Sunday. Let's take a look at the forecast. First of all, today, sunshine and very warm, high of 80 degrees. Dress lightly. Winds will be from the southwest up to 25 miles an hour. That'll bring in the warm air. Tonight, partly cloudy, just a slight risk of an isolated thunderstorm. We'll call it, say, a 20 to 30% chance of seeing some rain. 55 will be the overnight low, a very, very mild night. It'll be almost muggy. For tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Again, the chance of some isolated thunderstorms. I think especially in the afternoon hours. High tomorrow, even warmer, 85 degrees. Winds from the south. The outlook then for your Sunday, fair skies, 80. Chance of showers comes back on Monday, 75 degrees, and Tuesday sunshine, high also around 75. We badly need the rain, and we could use lots of it. Amy?
We do need it. Thank you, Sally. In case you're just joining us, here are our headline stories. A fire in South Minneapolis overnight slightly injured a firefighter. Captain James Wills was treated for a cut hand on the scene. He was taken to Hennepin County Medical Center, treated and released. Firefighters had the 2-alarm fire at 1496 5th Street South under control quickly. The small house owned by the city of Minneapolis was vacant. Investigators told News 11 the fire does not look suspicious. A shooting at this house had police investigating overnight in Columbia Heights. The incident happened around 10 last night following an argument between Donald White and a neighbor. White was shot in the chest. He later died in the emergency room at Unity Hospital. The shooting is still under investigation this morning, and police do have a suspect in custody. The trial of 51-year-old Ruth Longstreet begins today as jury selection gets underway. Longstreet is facing attempted murder charges. She is accused of sending a radio-activated bomb disguised as a Christmas present to a Minneapolis woman. No one was hurt in the explosion. Jury selection will be held in Hennepin County Court. A big part of a new federal bailout plan may be used for Midwest farm credit. John is with farm editor Les Heen, who'll tell us about it. John?
This is of special interest to us, Amy, because it affects our immediate area.
It looks like it could, but it all depends, too, just exactly how the money gets shifted over the next few months. More than $1 billion of the $6 billion farm credit system bailout may be going to St. Paul. Farm credit directors asked Congress for that money earlier this week. The St. Paul FCS district would get $1.24 billion under the plan, but the chairman of the St. Paul district says that much would only be needed in the worst possible scenario. Larry Bigler says he wants to keep the four-state system afloat without outside help. The local FCS lost just over $2 million during the last quarter out of the $155 million loss reported nationally. Bigler says that his plan of restructuring loans and selling land is helping to cut those losses. And while Congress is considering pumping money into the farm credit system, it's also considering subsidizing more farm exports. The Senate Agriculture Committee is looking into expanding the export bonus program. That program lowers the price of U.S. exports to make them more competitive. Lawmakers might expand the bonus plan to include some traditional trading partners by 1990. So far, the program has been open to only a few countries, such as the Soviet Union. And along with the changes in the export bonus program and the farm credit system, Congress may expand the marketing loan program. That program allows farmers to pay back crop loans at reduced prices if the market stays depressed. Marketing loans are now available for cotton and rice, and some farm groups want the loans for other crops such as corn and wheat. And corn and wheat moved to near life of contract highs in the Chicago Board of Trade in the last session. May corn gained 1 to reach 183.5. May wheat jumped more than 8 cents to hit 304 a bushel, and May soybeans gained more than 12 cents to reach 552.25. Two reasons for the big rally. One was indications of more Soviet buying, and another was reports of dry weather throughout the Midwest. Dairy cows have long been the best-known farm symbol for Wisconsin, but some second graders are trying to change that. 44 students from Merrill, Wisconsin want the cranberry muffin to be named the state muffin. The kids learned recently that Wisconsin's #2 in the nation in cranberry production, just behind Massachusetts. Now they plan to lobby the state legislature for their own part in cranberry promotion, which of course we have to do the comparison, right? We have to do it. If you're familiar with the dairy cow, you just have to ask, does this look like a new state symbol to you?
Well, it might work.
It might work.
It'd be novel.
It tastes good.
Massachusetts might object, but
yeah, you never know.
It might have started here. Who knows?
Who knows?
Still to come on Sunrise, a fictitious story that has sold many a book. Stay tuned.
Experience selection. Grand opening. Another Highland Superstore. Experience audio.
18, 19, 20.
More audio. Superstore. Experience selection. Highland Video and more video.
2, 3.
Best names. Superstore. More washers, dryers, more refrigerators, microwaves. Highland Superstore. Experience a grand opening sale. A 14-day programmable VHS video recorder is just $175, and a countertop microwave oven with automatic timer is just $69. Highland Choices. It's up to you.
I'll take that one.
Highland, 3 Twin Cities locations, Inver Grove Heights, Minnetonka, and Brooklyn Center. Sale now through Saturday, May 16th at all 3 stores.
Come here, I want to show you something. Come on, it's about your furniture.
Here's a typical chair, the way it looks before Park begins custom fitting your new upholstery. See this piece of webbing? It should be replaced, so Park does it. These springs, Park automatically reties them. At Park, we take pride in what we do, so you'll be proud of what you get. If you call us right now with an order for any sofa or 2 chairs, you'll get a gift certificate good for 2 rooms of professional carpet cleaning free.
You're about to take a trip in a new Chrysler LeBaron, a true driver's car that gives you luxury and the luxury of saving. LeBaron prices start at just $11,295. And now get 3.7 financing or $500 cash back. Plus, save hundreds on our discount equipment packages and get the 770 protection plan. But to take this luxury saving trip, first, you have to take a trip to your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. See the all-new LeBaron Coupe starting at $11,295 at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
This morning on We the People, the man behind American myths. As we continue our series honoring the anniversary of the Constitution, Marty Burns-Wolf introduces us to Parson Mason Locke Weems.
This is the Rappahannock River. Ever wonder how it was possible for George Washington to throw a coin across this river? Well, as you can see, it's not an easy task. In fact, the whole story was a myth, made up to sell books by a man named Parson Mason Locke Weems, the subject of We the People today. Mason Locke Weems was almost a parson, really. He went to school to become one and was ordained, but he got thrown out of church when he wrote a pamphlet with a sexual theme. So he became a bookseller, a fiddle-playing, dancing, Bible-selling son of the Southland, who coined the phrase bestseller so that he could hype his own material. Weems wrote biographies of some of our best-known forefathers, George Washington, William Penn, and Ben Franklin among them. The only problem with his stories is that you can't believe all of them. It was Mason Locke Weems who told the tale of George Washington chopping down the cherry tree and telling his father the truth. The truth is, it never happened. Not until sales of the George Washington biography had tailed off. Weems included the story in the 5th edition, printed in 1805. We the People, hoodwinked by a book-selling fiddle player. I'm Marty Burns-Wolf in Virginia.
And Monday morning on We the People, a city that lost its status as the seat of South Carolina. In For Kids' Sake this morning, what do teenage girls like to do in their free time? Amy is with anchors Jerry Hall and April Yeager, who have some interesting results. Amy?
Thanks, John. Let's do our own little survey. What do you like to do in your spare time, Jerry?
Oh, I like sports, I guess.
Sports, okay.
Just get this out of here.
How about you, April?
I like to spend a lot of time with my friends.
That's a good one. Well, let's see what the survey said.
In answer to the question, what do teenage girls like to do in their spare time? A marketing research company came up with some interesting results. Starting from least to most popular, the top answers in the survey were travel, dating boys, hanging around, and listening to the radio. The #1 choice was shopping.
It's not always easy for inner city kids to find jobs. In St. Paul, for some years now, a program has helped those who want to work link up with private and public sector jobs. Leah Hetzel reports.
Live guides for downtown, which is new this year, and St. Agnes, Johnson, and Humboldt Senior High are the 3 schools that have been selected for that program.
These students at Humboldt Senior High are hoping for summer jobs through St. Paul's Summer Youth Employment Program.
For this job, does this mean you have to attend summer school?
The program helps St. Paul teens find summer work around St. Paul. At its peak, as many as 2,000 students found jobs this way. But over the years, reductions in funding have led to cutbacks.
This year, the prospects look grim, and even fewer jobs are expected to be available through the program.
City officials say only about 400 jobs will be offered. Students know the competition will be fierce this year, but they are still trying.
It helps a lot of kids get jobs that they wouldn't know about by offering them through school.
I like working with little kids. They're fun. Unless private companies come up with job opportunities soon, many teens will find that come summer, they'll have to try other ways of finding jobs. For News 11 Sunrise, I'm Leah Hetzel reporting.
Any company that is interested in getting involved in the Youth Employment Program should contact the St. Paul City Hall.
Some talented youngsters from Sandstone Elementary School in Plymouth took the time off from their classes to make a little music. With the wave of a baton, these kids, all members of the Sandstone Band and Orchestra, performed a variety of music at Plymouth Junior High. The kids, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And families of students from Duluth Holy Rosary School got a special spring treat. Grades 1 through 5 presented a Disney spectacular. The musical performance featured songs and dances from several Disney movies, and here's a sample. Out to be a real crowd pleaser.
I can't go wrong with Disney.
No, you can't.
No. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.
Next Monday.
Okay. Coming up on Sunrise, overnight developments in the Hart scandal. Stay with us.
It's incredible. Saxon Ford is discounting 30 new Taurus GLs to one low price. That's right, one low price on 30 loaded Taurus GLs with V6s, not the strip 4-cylinders you've seen elsewhere. These Taurus GLs are Saxon packed with automatics, air conditioning, power steering and brakes, tinted glass, and more. Now all 30 are discounted by $2,415 to just $11,988. Almost 100 Tauruses in stock, 4 doors and wagons. Now Taurus GLs for just $11,988 only at Saxon Ford. Member Ford authorized leasing system, now 30 years strong, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Lindale Garden Center's Burt Ruttman here asking you, no begging you, to enter Lindale Garden Center's Lawn Boy Lawnmower $10,000 sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Buy your Lawn Boy Lawnmower here and receive free $25 labor service certificate, free lifetime blade sharpening, free setup, free 2-gallon gas container, free engine oil, and free up to 2-year warranty with your purchase. And remember, at the Lindale Garden Center, we will match anyone's Lawn Boy Lawnmower prices, even if we have to raise ours.
Are you looking for a used car that looks like new, runs like new, and at prices that you can afford? I'm Joe Sensor for Todd Chevrolet in Lakeville, where you can save thousands from a choice of hundreds. At Jeff Belzer's Todd Chevrolet, you can find a large selection of used cars, trucks, vans, and wagons. Jeff Belzer's Todd Chevrolet in Lakeville is just 15 minutes south of 494 in Cedar or 5.5 minutes east of 35W and Highway 50. Todd Chevrolet, call 469-4444.
48 degrees this morning, and it's now 6:42.
Dennis Stauffer joins us now with the latest on the Gary Hart situation.
He's bowing to the obvious pressures around him, Amy, and making it official this morning. There's no longer any question about it. Former Senator Gary Hart will announce today that he will withdraw from the race for president. That decision comes after a firestorm of controversy over his relationship with a Miami model and other women. It's a decision Hart's opponents say shows the scrutiny a presidential candidate must undergo.
All of us in public life know that we are public figures, and we have to expect very intensive public scrutiny.
It's a tough trade-off, but when you step into the political arena, that's the reality.
So, Democratic presidential race without a clear frontrunner. Roger O'Neill explains what's been happening inside the Hart campaign.
Gary Hart returned to Denver from New Hampshire on a private jet, convinced, according to sources, he should pull out of the race. But his wife Lee and campaign advisors in Denver were arguing otherwise. As Hart withdrew to his mountain cabin, the advice to the candidate changed. From Washington, the word was get out, now. Other newspapers, particularly the Washington Post, were working on other stories, linking the former Colorado senator to yet other women. A close advisor to Hart, Emmett O'Neill in Chicago, said Denver officials called him Thursday afternoon, saying Hart would announce his withdrawal this morning.
I got a call from Denver from one of his closest friends and supporters of long standing.
Hart has left his mountain cabin only once, visiting the campaign headquarters in Denver. A small army of reporters, photographers, and satellite trucks had gathered outside his home, getting ready for the scheduled Hart withdrawal announcement at noon Eastern Time today.
A mad rush by journalists from the mountains into Denver when he decided not to make the announcement from his home, but from a downtown Denver hotel instead. He plans to appear live at 11 o'clock our time. Retired Major General Richard Secord got a little feisty on the third day of the Iran-Contra hearings in Washington. Today, his interrogators, he told them, in effect, to back off.
Didn't come here voluntarily to be badgered by these questions that I have answered already repeatedly.
Secord was responding to questions about whether he profited personally from the Iranian arms deal and the complex financial transactions that followed. 2 Oklahoma men face charges of conspiracy to murder Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega. Officials say the men claim an unidentified backer put up $5 million to finance the bizarre plot. Don L. Howard and John Norris were arrested by federal agents. And the A.H. Robbins Company has come up with a plan intended to end 13 years of litigation over the Dalcon Shield intrauterine device. The company is offering to pay from $300 to $2,000 to women who say they suffered miscarriages or were made infertile by the IUD. 330,000 claims have been filed against A.H. Robbins, which still maintains that the device was safe. In other headlines this morning, interleukin-2, the controversial anti-cancer drug, has received government approval for wider human testing. Some members of Congress want the government to resume testing cigarettes for tar and nicotine instead of relying on tobacco industry data. And scientists now know more, they think, about the fate of dinosaurs. They've discovered tiny grains of deformed quartz crystals. They say support the theory that a massive meteor crashed into the Earth, wiping dinosaurs out. And finally, this Sunday, many mothers will receive gifts that were taboo just a few years ago. Purses, belts, and other products made from alligator skins. Alligators, which were once protected because they were near extinction, are now considered fair game, even a nuisance in some places. Sales of alligator skin articles are rising, with most hides coming from the wild of Louisiana and Florida. Haven't seen any alligator shoes in a while, but I guess we will soon.
Yeah, you know, a lot of golf shoes used to be alligator.
Is that right? Sturdier
Maybe we'll
material.
see
Who would know better than you?
That's right.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis. Still to come on Sunrise, the Twins are out east getting ready for tonight's game.
And we'll show you some vintage sports video from the archives. Stay tuned.
Cavaliers and
100?
People can take their choice. 50 at $49.95.
40. 55?
And all have lots of equipment.
Barnett Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Renault in White Bear. Barnett Olds AMC Jeep Renault in Anoka. And be as smart as our mom.
Come to Bali High. An exciting romantic journey to paradise awaits you. South Pacific Island Review nightly in the Polynesian Room to entertain you, and food to make you want to come back for more. Flaming Ambrosia, Steak Fiji, and Hawaii 5-0 to perfection. Call for easy reservations. The Bali High, Highway 36 at White Bear Avenue in St. Paul, 777-5500. The Bali High, for an evening of exotic food and entertainment.
Time. Precious, private, quiet time. We hope you didn't waste it running from store to store looking for the right shoes, when all you had to do was come to us. Red Cross Shoe Shops. 100 styles, over 90 sizes, 4 very different famous brands, and that rare and wondrous thing called service.
There's a reason why they call us the home of the super deal. We're Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault, and we're backing our name with super buys, like this loaded 84 Buick Skylark. Now just $111 a month or $46.88 to buy. Or get this 85 Ford Escort for not $200 a month, not even $100 a month, but just $83 a month or $39.88 to buy. And best of all, make no payments for 6 months at Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault. Call 566-7220.
Recapping our top stories, firefighters were busy overnight with a 2-alarm fire in South Minneapolis.
The fire slightly injured one of the firefighters, sending him to the hospital. Captain James Mills was treated on the scene for a cut hand, taken to Hennepin County Medical Center, treated and released. Crews had the fire at 1496 under control quickly. The small house owned by the city of Minneapolis was vacant. Arson investigators tell us that the fire did not appear to be suspicious.
A shooting in Columbia Heights leaves a man dead this morning. Police investigated the area around the house at 4537 Taylor Street following the incident. 25-year-old Donald White was shot in the chest point blank just before 10 last night. He later died in an emergency room. Police believe the shooting stemmed from an argument with a neighbor. Police are investigating and have a suspect in custody.
News 11's Tom Ryther received some special thanks from the United Way at an awards banquet in Minnetonka. Members of the Senior Community Services honored Tom for his Time to Remember series. The reports feature special senior citizens, and producer Kim McPike and photographer Joe Brandemeyer were also honored. I had the pleasure of emceeing that event. It was a real fun time.
And a well-earned award, too.
That's a great series, as we all know.
That's right. You've got more on, what, the Twins tonight?
Yeah, the Twins, they played yesterday afternoon, somewhat of an award-winning performance, so to speak, and they're out east tonight. Twins take their show on the road tonight to open a big weekend series in the Big Apple. The Twins face a big challenge when they meet the Yankees because so far the New Yorkers are a perfect 9-0 at home. Right-hander Mark Portugal will try and stop that streak for the Twins. He'll face the crafty veteran Tommy John, who baffled the Twins last weekend. Game time is 6:30. Frank Viola had a big day, an award-winning day for the Twins yesterday afternoon. He snapped his 4-game losing streak by beating Baltimore 5-2. In the 7th, Kirby Puckett singled home Al Newman for one of the runs, and Gary Puckett went 3 for 3 to lead the Twins to their 5-2 win over the Baltimore Orioles. Slumping Milwaukee Brewers are also back in action tonight. The Brew Crew opens a 3-game weekend series with Seattle tonight in Milwaukee. The Brewers are still in first place in the East with a 20-6 record, but they have now lost 3 in a row. Meantime, the New York Mets and Boston Red Sox played an exhibition game last night, a rematch of last year's World Series. Not much happening in the Mets bullpen last night except for a good game of hacky sack. The Mets would score with all the runs they would need.